Hi, Christina here again. After creating my skeleton blurb, I always name every scene in a novel that I'm about to edit. In Fictionary, you can name the scenes yourself, or you can just ask Fictionary and let us name the scenes for you. We're going to ask Fictionary. Click the Plot tab, and then click Name My Scenes. Little pop-up occurs, click Continue. Fictionary is evaluating each scene and creating a scene name for you. So why is this so important? The scene name is just for me, not for a published book. It represents the main action in the scene, and it should be something you can read and immediately know what happens in the scene. It gives you insight into the theme of a chapter, and the scene names are helpful when you're evaluating the structure of your novel. You can scan the list and analyze if the scenes appear in the best order to create suspense. Editing becomes much easier when you have a story outline to follow. In addition to naming the scenes, you can see the names in a Story Outline Insight. The Story Outline Insight shows you every scene in the context of the story arc. Let's just scroll across and we see here is the inciting incident. Here is plot point 1, the middle, plot point 2, and the climax. The insight also shows you how many scenes are in a chapter. A green line shows you this is the first scene in a chapter. Note, if a scene is over 5,000 words, it doesn't get named. This is because we're getting into short story territory, so I need to do some revisions. A blue line shows you the scene is both the first scene in a chapter and a story arc scene. And here's a little piece of magic. An orange line shows you the scene is a story arc scene, but not the first scene in a chapter. This is an issue. A story arc scene buried in a chapter makes that scene have less significance. Let's look at plot point 2. It's well in the middle of a chapter. See chapter and chapter. This is where the protagonist is at their lowest point in the story, and we want this scene to stand out. So I'm going to show you how to fix this. We'll go to the Evaluate page, and we'll go down to Scene 66. We'll start with plot point 2 and make a quick structural fix. So Scene 66 is our plot point 2 scene, and the easiest way to fix this is click the scene before it, insert a chapter break, and voila, structural issue fixed. Let's go back to the Insight and take a look. And here we can see plot point 2 is now a chapter break and a story arc scene. We'll go back to the Evaluate page. I'm going to revise my scenes based on what I learned from the Story Outline Insight. Once I do that, I might also rename scenes, and that's okay. Now it's your turn. Name your scenes and review the Story Outline Insight. You'll quickly see what revisions you need to make. This is the story arc we started with before we performed our edit on evolution. You can see plot point 1 is too late, meaning the story drags from the inciting incident to plot point 1, and it feels rushed from plot point 1 to the middle. As you perform your story edit, you're going to revise scenes, shorten scenes, add scenes, cut scenes, and this is all going to change the story arc. So let me show you what your goal is with the story arc. The Story Arc Insight updates every time you make a change to your manuscript. And so your goal while you're going through the story edit is to end up with something like this. Just keep in mind it doesn't have to be perfect. You're looking to have your plot points generally in the area of what's indicated on the blue line. So have fun playing with this as you edit.